Welcome to another high-level game of AOC. So today we are going to see the players VG Cigarettes and Barn3yStinson. I'll say that Barn3yStinson right now is playing in teal, Cigarettes is playing in blue. Both players are playing as Huns, however today we are back on Mega Random. And I know everybody hates Huns v Huns just because it's so done, but when it's on Mega Random, I like to think that's a little bit of an exception. So what have we gathered straight away? Both players are starting off with 3 towers to defend their key starting location. However, both players, again, Barn3yStinson probably getting the worst tower positions out of the two, just because he can be attacked from this way here, and there's not a lot he can do. He's got no cover on this gold here, but apart from that, he should be alright. 2 berry bushes there, both players starting off with a fair few sheep in their area. And as we can see by looking at the map straight away, there's an abundance of wood on the map, kind of like Black Forest. We can see there is a massive gold piles around, however there is 3 large stone piles as well. So the only thing they're going to really be having trouble with is food. They do have a lot of sheep available though, but they've only got these 2 berry bushes, but they do have a deer patch each by the looks of it. Yes, they do. And it looks like they've both got 1 boar. Do you have a boar? Yes, you do. It's over here. However, have you seen it? Yes, he has. So both players start off with 1 boar, 2 berry bushes, and 4 deer in a deer patch. But looking at the towers, like I was saying before, you can see that Cigarettes has actually got a nice location, in my opinion. Any forces moving in are going to have to go through these towers unless they come around this side here. And of course that means this area here is quite well defended. It's probably the reason he just opted to take the forward wood, because it means it's not going to be able to be towered, because naturally he's got this tower here already up to defend it, as we can see there, so he can't be towered on this wood here. Plus, if anything comes into raid, they're going to have to get and attack this tower, and if this tower is attacked, this one here should be able to attack anything at the bottom. So quite good there. And again, if we look back at the map, we can see there's a lot of gold on the map, a lot of stone, a lot of wood, and as well as these little pockets of water, which is really interesting to see, because usually you don't. So the thing's going to be is both players can opt to go for fishing boats. We can see that Cigarettes is, by the way, here, and does he know that's only a very small area? It looks like he should know, unless he thinks this area over here is all combined. He's bound to find out soon, though, and a sure fish there with that villager, or not. But it's bound to find out sooner or later, just because of the fact that as soon as these fishing ships come out, they're going to have a pretty decent line of sight on them, and they're going to be able to, once they start going for these fish around this area, go for them. So it looks like Barney not going for fish, which is interesting, because usually most players, if they can go for fish, they will, but doesn't look like he has the greatest position to go for it, honestly. Actually, he's hardly seen any water. He's seen this patch here and this patch here, but that's about it. So, Stinson going to go for a no-fish approach by the looks of it, while we see Cigarettes go for it. So it's going to come down as well. We will be able to see who seems to profit the most from this, mainly due to the fact that one player is fishing, one player isn't. As we can tell already, Cigarettes definitely has the early lead, 'cause he's been able to get out an extra 3 population, 24 to Stinson, Cigarettes on 27, so it pretty much makes sense that he's got these extra 4 units out, while Barney does not. So it sounds like both players have been keeping pretty much constant villager production, but Cigarettes naturally taking that population lead by getting out those ships. And straight away, Cigarettes just walling off this section over here, because he knows he has this tower here, so if anything comes around here, he's not going to be able to defend it initially with this tower. However, if he walls this section off and forces things to come through here, or through this area here, he's most likely going to see him. Actually, let's have a look here. Yeah, he's got pretty much complete clearance of this area here, so we can see anything entering his area here. Over this side, however, he could be completely and utterly harassed on this side, so that wall up there, probably a very smart idea. We can see Barney actually opting for the same approach, walling his section here off. However, he hasn't gone for the complete wall off. Let's actually swap over. Barn3yStinson nearly in feudal age. Actually, Cigarettes, have you gone up yet? Cigarettes not even going up yet. Barney going up there. So are we going to see some early harass from Barney? Or is he going to be going straight for castle age? We do have the barracks up, which means he's going to be going for the archery range, which means we are most likely going to see that go into the double range. And then we'll see the blacksmith come up and see a little bit more damage done there. So complete wall off though from Cigarettes actually, so he's going to be fairly safe. And single blacksmith into the archery range and could possibly go into the double once he's done here. Single scout still scouting about, fair enough. We can see that Cigarettes has actually gone on to gold, opted to go that way. Barracks coming up for Cigarettes, which is always a good plan, especially if you know your opponent's putting that barracks up. Looks like he probably was able to see it there. So if you see that barracks, it generally means you're going to have good. So what do we see from Cigarettes? We see he's going up totally with 3 docks in 3 different puddles. Looks like we're opting to see 11 fishing ships from our memory. We've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fishing ships there. So as we can see by the points, he's actually got quite a lot, and he's going to have quite a high food count as well, which means he's going to be able to opt for... he could actually even go Knights, and if he makes it to Imperial, he could actually go for the Paladin research, just due to the fact he's going to have so much extra food available, and that Paladin research costs a lot of food to get done. So it definitely could be on the menu there, actually, which is something we don't see a lot in Huns v Huns. Castle Age there, naturally going to have to get that, because when stone walls come up, you're not going to be able to get through them with feudal age units, unless you absolutely mass man-at-arms and sit there for ages, but... naturally, the way we are going to see it is most likely going to be in siege and in form of battering rams, maybe even backed by some mangonel, so he's unable to get some repairs on that. Archer here as well with no upgrades on it whatsoever, so it's not going to be able to do a heap of damage, and it's not going to have a lot of range on it either. Barney opting for a lot right now, going for 2 town centre by the looks of it. No, 3rd on the way. 3 town centre for you, or you're just sitting on 2. Looks like you are going to sit on 1 town centre, which is interesting enough, something we don't see a lot, especially in maps like this where you've managed to fully wall off. Most players will first opt to go for the boom, but he does have a lot of fishing ships out, so it means he might be able to get away with it, which is the main thing we're going to see. So Barney right now looks like he's going to be going aggressive first, just due to the fact he's already got that siege workshop up, and let's see, is he producing anything that he wants to? No, he's just slowly booming his economy, and 3rd town centre going up for Barney right now, so we are going to see quite a big boom actually. And still no 3rd for you? 2 there actually. There we go, I like hotkeys. So we've got the main here, and the 1 extra down here. It's gone up on the backwood and the gold there, which is going to be very effective. Mangonel already out for Barney, so he's going to be able to start putting some damage onto these gates, and as well as any unit that tries to repair it, it's going to be able to be picked off quite quickly. Cavalry archers are being massed by both players. I swear I saw something, just the 1 by the looks of it. But cavalry archers being massed right now by Cigarettes. We see the 4 to siege workshop going up, and probably going to go for Mangonel. Yeah, we're going to try and kill that one there off as quick as possible. Plus, Mangonels do quite a lot of damage versus rams, so if any rams do come in and attempt to take out these gates or wall pieces, he's going to be able to do a fair amount of damage to it with the Mangonel. And of course, being able to one-shot other Mangonels is just absolutely a great thing to have available. So it means if you have a gate like this that's being ripped down, just having 1 Mangonel available just to take out this one here, always a good idea. And there we go, there's the kill and off, and there's the repair now. Pulling that Mangonel back, of course, because they are quite expensive, believe it or not, excuse me there, I just ate. But looks like we're up to 4 town centres for Barney right now, and he's still quite a fair way behind. 600 points, in fact, I believe. Let's check out how many cigarettes is back on. 1, University, 2, 3. So 3 for cigarettes, and Barney is still quite behind, even though he's got this 4th town centre up. But then again, if we look at it, we have seen Cigarettes collecting food all game. He's already got enough food to advance and enough gold to advance. Barney, however, nowhere near. So it just shows how interesting it is to have these ships and how much of a difference they actually make. So let's have a look at the pop counts. Barney on 81, we see Cigarettes on 82 and upping. So it does look like the Cigarettes does have a higher army count, so he is going to have less villages when it comes down to it. But he's been having these fishing ships here for so long, and fish traps actually as well, because fish traps are the farms of the sea. But it just shows how much of a difference is being made by these fishing ships. It's just absolutely great to see that. We do see the stable going up, which means we are most likely going to see a Bloodlines any second. Another 2 archer range coming up. There's Bloodlines right now. And we did just see the Smith, didn't we? Yes, Smith over here. Bodkin being done, because he wants that plus 2 range attack. Mangonel here, managing to take out Blue's other one. There is a Mangonel on both sides now, and looks like Blue is coming in. He's in Cigarettes, so he'll be able to take out this one. And one-shots another Mangonel, and only takes minimal damage, which is quite good. Looks like this one over here could go down as well. Cigarettes going up. Oh, you don't see a little cavalry archer anywhere. Not yet, by the looks of it. Did I just miss it? No, I did not. Oh, you can see Brace upgrade. No, we don't. And interesting actually, because we can remember that Stinson hasn't gone up as well, which is a very interesting thing to see, because usually both players actually advance around the same point. We see a market actually going up for Cigarettes, because he does actually have quite a lot of resources available to him, and he's going to be able to sell off a lot to get some extra gold out there. Barney only just going up to Imperial Age. We see Cap Ram there from Cigarettes, and until this Ram's taken care of, it means there's not a lot he's going to be able to do with his Rams. as soon as it moves up, it's just going to get cut down by this mangonel. And if I swap over quickly, hopefully Barney getting that out just in time. So now we're exactly where we would be, and I'm going to slow it down, just because, one, they just boomed the entire game so far, so no point showing that slowly. So, Ram's being used up here. Surprised he hasn't already moved the mangonels back. Castle over here, they're going to be able to counter any mangonel fire, because as we know, if they come straight in through here, Castle's just going to absolutely take them out. However, if he brings them to the back area over here, he should be right for taking out those Rams. However, if he comes through here, again, he's just going to have to move, and it could spell trouble, particularly. What do we got? We don't have heavy cavalry archer yet, but we do have most of the upgrades on them, lacking the armor upgrades though. And no knights, of course, yet, because as we know, if you go pure knights in a Huns v Huns, you generally lose just because of the fact you can't micro as well with them. Siege Ram being upgraded, very important upgrade to have as well. Battalion Tactics being done as well, which means they're going to get that extra damage for his pikemen if his opponent does run out of gold. Lots of cap Rams actually out for Stinson right now, and we are going to see quite a little skirmish here by the looks of it. Siege Ram up, though, for Cigarettes, that is definitely going to make a difference. As we know, Rams do quite well versus the Rams. And if Stinson's not careful here, actually, he could lose a few of his own Rams. There we go. Losing a 1-to-1 there, so that was not too bad a trade for Cigarettes. And this Ram here could potentially start doing a bit of damage to this wall and move on to this castle if it really wants to. Trebuchet being pushed out as well, actually being told to go through the gate straight away. When there's this many Rams coming towards you, you could always be in trouble when that happens. You've got to remember that Siege is really expensive units, especially Trebuchets. Trebuchets cost in at 200 gold. I'm going to speed this up just for now, just because we're seeing some Rams being attacking this castle. And leaving that gate open there by that Trebuchet, not a great thing to have. Surprised he honestly did not leave that Ram in the middle there. Would have been able to just take it out. However, this castle here is something to take quite a beating from these Rams. We actually have villagers there attacking these Rams by the look of it. And these cavalry archers here have been able to pick off these villagers. No elite cavalry archer yet. We are seeing more upgrades done for Cigarettes than we are for Barney Stinson. Of course, Barney only with that +1 armor upgrade. We've got Cigarettes with the +3, which means it's going to do a lot. And if Cigarettes is not careful, he might lose this castle here. However, Ram versus Ram, we know how that's going to end. Siege Ram just being done for Barney Stinson, which is a really important upgrade in this matchup. And if you haven't seen that, Cigarettes has busted through this low one down here. Currently only 400 points in it, but castle here does have a big potential to go down, especially to this Siege Ram. It's doing a lot of damage, definitely a good bang for your buck there. And looks like those villagers are just going to keep that town centre up. We do see a massive cavalry archers though from Barney Stinson, still lacking those upgrades though, and neither player is still opting for elite cavalry archers, which is something really interesting, so you usually see that upgrade quite quickly in Unwars. However, at the moment, it's going more to Rams. And Barney getting quite a good defensive up here. He's got most of his cavalry archers up. He's got most of his necessary upgrades. No chemistry though. Chemistry just being done there for Barney Stinson. Actually, as I was about to say, he doesn't have it. Final armor upgrade getting done for Cigarettes there. So he's got pretty much everything he needs, minus that, what am I thinking of? Chemistry, which of course is a fairly expensive technology. Of course, it's not the expensive of the expensive, but it's definitely up there when it comes down to it. Cigarette's currently up by 600 points. He's managed to push in on Barney quite well now, actually. These Rams are going to town on these buildings, and he doesn't really have a lot to defend up against it, mainly due to the fact that it's all cavalry archers, and it looks like we saw the heavy cavalry archer there, and normal cavalry archers still for Cigarettes, which means at the moment, it's hard to say who's got the advantage. I would most likely say that Cigarettes still does due to that armor, but the fact is, we can see that Stinson's working on getting that armor right now. Let's have a look. Still enemy blacksmith, that's not good. And Ram's moving in now, so it could be potentially a lot of trouble. We can see that Barney is trying to take down this wall because he does want to get in there and do some damage. And Ram's going down right now for Cigarettes. Currently the score is only 100 points apart, so we can see that Stinson has been closing the gap extremely well right now. Got this archer over here spotting to see if anything happens. We are currently on 152 population for Cigarettes, and Barney is on 172, so it looks like he has a population advantage. Barney taking the lead now for the first time since the game has started. Every cavalry archer here going to be able to do a lot of extra damage when you compare it with the normal one. Extra 10 HP, 1 extra attack, and that looks like about it actually. 1 plus 2, and they've got the 1 normal armor starting off with as well, so if it comes down to a ballet fight, it's definitely going to be these heavy cavalry archers that are going to have a lot of an advantage. We can still see though that no heavy cavalry archer and no chemistry, which is interesting. But like I said, we've actually seen the transition into Paladins here, which is something we don't see very often. Mainly, I would say, due to the fact he had so much food available from all these extra fishing ships, and the fact he was building cavalry archers, it means he's going to have a lot of that food available, which definitely frees up the technology for Paladin. But then again, it does cost a lot of gold as well, but naturally, having all that food, it means he'd be able to sell some off, and he would be able to get this Paladin upgrade without too much trouble. We do see they do only have the +2 defense upgrade and the +1 attack, but they've got bloodlines as well, and they're Paladins, so there's nothing really you can't do about that. So they are going to be able to soak up quite a bit of damage from these cavalry archers, as well as get in there and do some damage once they get the rest of those upgrades. And it looks like we just saw something upgraded that I did not see, and Barn3yStinson actually there. And Paladin's getting in there, alright. Lots of Paladins actually being creative for Cigarettes right now. And he's definitely actually pushing the advantage with these guys, as they do have an extremely high hit point count and a really high armor count. We've got 3 plus 4 pierce armor right now, and that means they're on 7, and cavalry archers only deal 11 damage. So with 180 HP, they're going to take a lot of hits before they go down, especially if they start to get masked. Here we go. And it looks like as well, we see Barn3yStinson's actually managing to get taken out in this location here, and this wall might not go up fully. Paladins get in. Paladins are getting down in the bottom here, which means these guys here are going to be able to run rampant in this area over here. Rams coming in this side from Cigarettes. Lots of Paladins still being created. We do see quite a few cavalry archers, still no heavy cavalry archer, and no chemistry upgrade. We do see no armor upgrade on Barn3yStinson's yet. Castle up over here, however, Trebuchet Fire is on that from this one over here. And right now, Stinson is actually starting to lose a lot of his production buildings. That is going to be 3 siege workshops going down there. We do see these Paladins coming in here, opting to go for the villagers by the looks of it. And there we go, a villager fight. More Paladins coming in, and they are just going to be able to go to town on these villagers. We can see right now, we have seen Barn3yStinson actually having to produce some pikemen, which is always good because he does actually have these cavalry archers. However, they're not as massed as they want to be anymore. We can see going for the elite skirmishes though, of course that is a pretty decent idea. And that means he's going to be able to get in quite a bit of damage, which is great because his opponent's just massing cavalry archers. If you can mass skirmishes off that and you're on the offensive, generally you can hold him in the one place you want him, especially when you're coupling up with Paladins. See the Halberdier upgrade from Barn3yStinson, so they've only got 1 upgrade on them, so they're not actually going to be too big of a threat for Paladins. However, they are going to be cost effective for finishing. So at the moment, it starting to look like Barn3yStinson's in a lot of trouble. He's 2,000 points down. These Paladins are running rampant through his base. He is losing to these siege rams. He is losing a lot of his military production. He's lost his entire front. And Cigarettes right now up by a lot of points. So 2,000 points, that's a lot. Truly moving towards the back there. His Paladins actually are what I think is making a difference. They are forcing Barney to garrison his villages. He's forcing them to, and if he's not garrisoning them, he's killing them. So works. Castle is about to go down for Barn3yStinson right now. Paladins moving in and moving in. Wouldn't be surprised actually to see the good game soon, just because Stinson's gone so far behind. 145, 59 population, trailing up 184, so it's not too bad on that aspect. But I would say that Barney does have quite a bad economy at the moment. We can see that he does have a lot of these farmers not working at the moment. He does have all the way up into this area over here. However, I don't think that's going to help. We do see the stables going down, which means we could see some Paladin play from Barney as well. However, most likely it is going to develop into, let's see what we have. I don't know what it's even developing. He doesn't even really have enough resources for SARS, so going to be interesting to see what he apps for. He's got light cavalry out on the field right now, but that's just not going to be enough. He's got Paladins in his base. Paladins are not taken out easily, especially by light cavalry. And heavy cavalry archers as well, going to do damage. But these Rams are just absorbing way too much of the damage, and Stinson right now, he's in so much trouble. And I think this is a good game. I don't think he's going to be able to come back. This has lost his entire forward area. We can see that Cigarettes still has a large area, and there we go, there's the resign from Barn3yStinson. So I hope the fact that it was a 1v100 didn't make up for the fact that it was a mega random, and I thought it was quite a decent game, honestly. We don't usually see Paladins get used in Hun Wars, so it's good.